Hello my dear students, I welcome you all to IITN's GATE classes, an exclusive GATE coaching run by IIT ISC graduates. So today's video session will be on control system. I will be solving all the questions, previous year questions that was asked in GATE 2020 in the year 2020 to the instrumentation branch people. Okay, so let us solve the questions. So the first question that was asked, it is what? A phase lead network has the transfer function GS is equal to the transfer function they have given, the angular frequency at which maximum phase shift for the network occur is. Okay, so they have given GS is equal to 1 plus 0.2s divided by 1 plus 0.05s. We know that for a transfer function with such structure, okay, the maximum angular frequency at which phase shift occur is omega is equal to under root of AB radian per second. Okay, we know this thing. So if I want to convert this transfer function into this form, what will I do? Simply I will take out 0.2 common from here. So that will be S plus 5 0.2 divided by, I will take 0.05 common out of here. So S plus 20. So if I do this, okay, so you can see my transfer function is in this form. Okay, so I should be writing K, okay, system gain also. So okay, we don't need to solve. So for omega maximum, it should be what? 5 into 20, which is equal to under root of 100 radian per second, which is equal to 10 radian per second. So the answer to this question was 10 radian per second. Now for those of you who don't know how to get this result, let me show you. Okay, let me show you how to get it. So okay, suppose we have a transfer function like this. Okay, and we want to calculate the maximum angular frequency for which the phase shift is maximum for this transfer function. Okay, so I want to basically do what? I want to maximize this quantity for a specific value of omega. Okay, so if I want to write that, G of j omega will be what? It will be K j omega plus A j omega plus B. Fine. So what will be angle of G j omega? It will be, for a real value, angle is what? It is always 0. So K is real value, and for this it will be what? Tan inverse of y by x. So omega by A minus tan inverse of omega by B. Okay. Now what I do, let me denote it by phi of omega. Okay, so if I denote this quantity by phi of omega, what I want to have, next step will be what? As I am maximizing with respect to omega, so I have to differentiate this quantity. So this will be equal to what? Differentiation of tan inverse x is what? With respect to x, it is 1 divided by 1 plus x square. Okay, so if I do that, so it will be what? 1 plus omega by A whole square into, this will be following chain rule, so 1 by A minus 1 divided by 1 plus omega B square into 1 by B. Okay, fine. So this is the result I got. So equating this to 0. Okay, I have equated this to 0. So what will be my next step? It will be a square divided by a square plus omega square into 1 by a is equal to b square plus omega square into 1 by b. Okay, so a got cancelled, 1b got cancelled, and now we have to just solve this thing. So what I am doing now is cross multiplying. So this will be what? A b square plus omega square is equal to b a square plus omega square. So this will be a b square plus a omega square is equal to a square b plus b omega square. So separating out omega square term, so what we will get? A minus b omega square is equal to, from here I can take out ab common, so that will be a minus b. So I can cancel out a minus b. So omega is equal to plus minus under root of ab, and we know what? Minus angular frequency is not possible. So omega is equal to under root ab radian per second. Okay, so now you must be thinking that whether this value of omega, it is maxima or minima. So what you need to do is, this is a home task for you people, you double differentiate this term. Okay, you double differentiate this, differentiate it again with respect to omega, and put this value of omega in that place, means in that equation. Okay, you will be seeing, you will be getting what? Negative value of the double differentiation. Okay, so that is a home task for you people. Still I derived this result, omega is equal to under root of ab radian per second. Okay, so I directly use this formula for solving. I know most of you people know this formula, but still those of you who are just in your preparation mode, I wanted for them actually to understand how I got this. Okay, so what was the next question that was asked to instrumentation people? They have asked a differentiator has transfer function. Okay, fine. So let me assume a system. So r is my, small r is my input, small c is my output, and this is basically differentiating. Okay, what it is? C is equal to d by dt into r. Okay, so it is differentiating r. Okay, so if I want to take Laplace transform, if I take Laplace transform of both sides, what it will be? Cs is equal to s rs, or I can write Cs by rs is equal to s. I can write this. Okay, so now if I take it in frequency domain, I write it in terms of j omega. So how can I write it? T of j omega, okay, is equal to j omega. Now if I want to calculate the magnitude, what will it be? It will be T of j omega is equal to omega, and phase of T j omega, what will be? It will be 90 degree. Okay, so you can see phase increases linearly with frequency, no, phase is constant. Magnitude remains constant, no, it is directly proportional to omega. Magnitude increases linearly with frequency, yes, this is the correct option. What is option D? Magnitude decreases linearly, no, magnitude doesn't decreases linearly, because in control system we don't have the concept of negative frequency. Okay, so remember this, in control system we don't have negative frequency, so this option is also wrong. So option C is your correct answer. Okay, so this is your differentiator. Now tell me one thing, if I ask you, what is this circuit? If this is C, this is R. What is this circuit? This is first order RC high pass filter. Why first order? Why first order? Because we have just one storing element, or one, what I should say, means if I write the differential equation for this circuit, we will have just order 1 differential. Okay. So that is why this is first order RC, because it is RC circuit, and why this is high pass filter we will see right now. Okay. So if I want to write the transfer function of this circuit, how will I write it? Directly I am writing, look, I am just using voltage division rule. Okay, voltage, because this C and this R, these are directly in what? They are in series. So if I write the impedance for C, it will be what? 1 by Cs divided by R plus 1 by Cs. Okay. So if I take LCM, what will it be? It will be, sorry, I have written it wrong here. So this will be R divided by R plus 1 by Cs. So it will be RCS divided by RCS plus 1. Okay. So why did I write this? Why did I write this? So if I want to, means if I tell you, look, this RC high pass filter is the differentiator also, practical differentiator circuit. This is also known as practical differentiator. See, in this differentiator circuit, we had S term in our numerator. Here also we have a S term in numerator. Okay. If I just want to write it like this, I can rearrange it like S divided by S plus 1 by RC. Okay. So I can write it like this also. This is also my differentiator circuit. And if I want to show you, see, if I want like this, let me write it like I. So I is equal to what? It is C dVc by dt. So this will be C d by dt. What is Vc? Vc, this is my Vc, plus minus Vc. So Vc is what? It is Vi minus V naught. I can write it like this. Okay, I can write it like this. And what is I? Tell me, what is I? What is I? So I is flowing from here also. This is also I. This is I only. So I can write it like V naught by R is equal to C d by dt Vi minus V naught. And you know what? Output of this circuit, it will be constant. Okay, output of this circuit, it will be constant, so it will result to 0, and then you can write it as what? V naught is equal to RC d by dt Vi. So you can see this is what? This is your differentiator circuit only. Okay, this is your simple differentiator circuit. Now if you solve for, means if I want to write, let me denote this term by Ts. So Ts is equal to S divided by S plus 1 by RC. If I write this in terms of omega, T of j omega is equal to j omega by j omega plus 1 by RC. If I take magnitude, it will be what? Omega divided by under root of omega plus 1 by RC whole square. Okay. So you can see here also omega square, it will be omega square now. Here now magnitude is increasing linearly, it is not increasing linearly here. Here there is some what I should say, there is a denominator factor which is not constant, which is also varying with respect to omega. Okay, so here they haven't asked you about practical differentiator. This I told you because you people should be knowing what is a practical differentiator circuit also. Okay, in analog you will be constructing practical differentiator circuit with the help of op-amp. So at that time you people will see you can also construct ideal differentiator circuit there. Okay, but this is one simple thing you people must be knowing, some extra thing you people should be knowing. So that is why I told you. So the answer for this question is C. Okay. So now next question is what? The closed loop transfer function of a control system is given by CSI-RS is equal to 1 by S. For the input RT is equal to sin t, the steady state response is okay. So always remember this thing, transfer function is always written for which type of system? Non-linear, linear, time variant, time invariant. Which type of system? It is written always for LTI system. Okay, LTI system. And if we have a LTI system, okay, consider this as my LTI system, and this has a sinusoidal input A sin omega t. Okay, and let me assume the transfer function of this LTI circuit as k divided by S plus A. So the output will also be sinusoidal. Output will also be sinusoidal with magnitude A. So let me, if this is Gs, okay, this is equal to Gs. So what will be Gj omega? It will be k divided by j omega plus A. If I want to write the magnitude and phase, what will it be? It will be k under root of omega square plus A square, and what is phase? It will be minus tan inverse of omega by A. Okay. So you know what will be the output of this system? It will be A into the magnitude of this. So it is what? K divided by under root of omega square plus A square, and what will be the phase difference of the signs? So it will be omega t minus tan inverse of omega by A. Okay. So if I want to write this, means if I want to write the answer to this system, what will it be then? So first let me calculate the phase and magnitude of this system. So what is Ts? Ts is equal to 1 divided by S plus 1. So if I write T of j omega, what will it be? It will be j omega plus 1. So let me write the magnitude and phase for this system. It will be what? Under root of 1 plus omega square, angle will be minus tan inverse of omega by 1. So it will be omega. Okay. Now what is the input here? What is the input? It is sin t. Sin t. Previously what was my input in this system? Sin omega t. So here for this input, what is your omega? Omega is equal to 1. Okay, omega is equal to 1. So now tell me what should be the output? Your omega is 1 here, sorry, and what is A here? A is also equal to 1. So what should be your output? Output should be A, this one, this quantity, this equation, A into K. So you have to just put the values. So what is A? A is 1 here. What is K? K here. Okay, so K is also 1 here. Okay, K is also 1 here, because 1 divided by S plus 1, so K is also 1. So just you have to write under root of 1 square plus 1 square sin t minus tan inverse of omega by A. So omega is 1, A is also 1, so that is tan inverse 1. So what I will write? It is 1 by root 2 sine t minus pi by 4. As simple as that. So what is your answer? Answer is your option D. Okay. Okay, so the next question, what it is? A second order system has closed loop poles located at S is equal to minus 3 plus minus J4. The time at which the maximum value of the step response occurs. What are they asking you? The time at which the maximum value of the step response occurs. Okay, fine. So first thing first, if I want to draw the pole 0 map, what will it be? So this is my j omega axis, this is my sigma axis, and this will be minus 3, this is j4, this is minus j4. Okay. So now if I want to write the characteristics equation, how will it look? Characteristics equation, it will be S plus 3 minus J, S plus 3 plus J4. Okay. So if I want to write like this, plus 16, so this will be S square plus 6s plus 9 plus 16, so that will be 25. Okay, fine. So first let me ask you, what is omega n? Omega n is equal to 5 radian per second. What will be zeta? So we can see 2 zeta omega n is equal to 6, which implies zeta is equal to 0.6. So 0.6 means what? This will be underdamped system. Okay, this is my underdamped system. Fine. Now tell me the characteristics for step response. Okay, how will the step response look for a underdamped system? How does it look? You people draw while I am also sketching. Okay, it looks like this. And what is this? This is my T peak. So they have asked you this only, the time t at which the maximum value of the step response occurs in seconds. Okay, so now if I want to calculate T peak, what it is? Pi by omega d. So what is pi? Acha, pi to pi is pi only omega n. Okay, so that will be 5 under root of 1 minus 0.6 square. So this will be pi into 5 into 0.8. So that will be equal to pi by 4 second. So let me calculate it. So that comes out nearly to be 0.85 seconds. So your answer to this question is what? 0.785 second. Okay. So this was basically asked, what is the maximum value of the step response? The time at which it occurs, they have asked you this only. Okay. So very simple question. So here this is a very simple question based on the Nyquist plot. What is the question given? The open loop transfer function of a negative feedback system is GHS is equal to this. The Nyquist plot for the above system, A encircles the critical point once in clockwise, encircle critical point once in counterclockwise. does not encircle and encircle the point twice in counterclockwise. Okay, so they have asked you how many times the Nyquist plot for this system will encircle the critical point. Okay, fine. So we know the formula. There are two formulas actually. So what is the first one? N is equal to P minus Z when the Nyquist plot encircles the critical point in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so N is what? Number of encirclement of the critical point minus 1 plus J0 in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, what is P here? P is number of open loop poles in right hand side of S plane. What is Z? Z is number of open loop poles in sorry, not open loop, this should be closed loop. Number of closed loop poles in right hand side of S plane. Okay, so this is one formula, and what is the other formula? Other formula is just N is equal to Z minus P, where this N is what? It is the number of encirclement in clockwise direction. Okay, same thing just with clockwise direction. So I am going to use this formula only. Okay, we will see how we can know if the rotation is clockwise direction or in anti-clockwise direction. We will see. Okay, so here if I directly want to calculate P, what is P here? Number of open loop poles in the right hand side of S plane. So you can directly see there is a pole in the right hand side at S equal to 2. Okay, so P is what? P is equal to 1. Now let us calculate Z. So how do you think we can calculate Z with this information given? See, they have given you GHS is equal to 1 by S into S minus 2. Can I calculate the characteristics equation? Yes, I can calculate. So that will be 1 GHS equal to 1 divided by 1 plus S, S minus 2. So what are the poles of characteristics equation denotes? They are basically what are the roots of the characteristics equation do they denote? Roots. I am asking about the roots of this equation. So roots of equation will be 0 if I put it to 0, equate it to 0. So what will this signify? These are basically the roots of closed loop system. Okay, roots of closed loop system. So this will be what? So this is equal to S minus 1 whole square equal to 0. So we have repeated poles at S equal to minus 1, S equal to 1. So what do we have? We have repeated poles at S equal to 1 for the closed loop system. So what I am going to write? Z equal to 2. Now if I put this in the above formula, P minus Z, so 1 minus 2, which is equal to minus 1. So minus 1, what does it signify? This minus sign basically signifies that my rotation is in clockwise direction, not in anti-clockwise direction. So what I am going to write, what I am going to conclude, that this system, okay, the Nyquist plot for this above system, it will encircle the critical point once in clockwise direction. So option A will be your answer. Okay, quite simple. Now look, what is the next question? Here they have asked the loop transfer function of a negative feedback system is given by this transfer function where k is equal to 0. The value of k at the breakaway point of the root locus for the above system. Okay, so they have asked you what is the value of k at the breakaway point. Okay, so tell me first, when do we have breakaway point and when do we have break-in point? First, that is my question to you people. Just think while I sketch the pole 0 diagram. So we have one pole at s equal to 0, one at s equal to -2 and another at s equal to -6. Okay. So yes, I asked you a question, where do we have breakaway point and where do we have break-in point? So breakaway point, we have it in the real axis when there are two consecutive poles. Okay. So when there are two consecutive poles, at that time we will have what? We will have breakaway point. So here you can see this will be a valid root locus region, this region, this will be a valid root locus region, this whole region. Why? Because the number of poles to the left hand side is what? Odd number. Here we have one pole. Okay, in this direction we have only one pole. You can see, if we come, sorry, not in this direction, means if we see this, in this direction we have only one pole. Now this region, okay, this region, does it there in the root locus? Is it there in our root locus? No. Why? Because if we look in this direction, we have two number of poles here. Okay, two number of poles here. So that will be what? Even number. So it will not be there. And if this region we see, here we have three poles. Okay, but in this region, why we will not have our breakaway point in this region? Because this terminates to infinity or virtual 0. So this root locus is in between a pole in between a pole and a 0. So whenever there is in between pole and 0, there will not be breakaway or break-in point. Okay. So breakaway point always exists within two consecutive poles. So here we will have a breakaway point, and break-in point similarly, it is in between consecutive zeros. Okay. So here our main aim is to find the breakaway point. Okay. So how do we find breakaway point? So GHS, it is given as what? K divided by S into S plus 2, S plus 6. Okay. Now let me calculate the characteristics equation. So if I do this and equating this to 0, okay, equating this to 0, so that will be S plus 2, S plus 6 plus K equal to 0. So I can write K is equal to minus S cube plus 8S square plus 12S. I can write like this. Now what I need to do? I need to differentiate with respect to S to find the breakaway point. Okay, if I do that, so what will it be? It will be minus 3S square plus 16S plus 12 equal to 0. Now let me find the value of S, okay, where this will maximize K. So if I want to find those values, so S is equal to minus B. So we know minus B plus under root B square minus 4AC by 2A. If our equation is somewhat like this. Okay, so same thing I am doing. So minus 16 plus minus under root of 16 square minus 4AC. Okay, so that is 144 by 2A. So Remember this is 2a, so 2 into 3, that will be 6. So minus 16 plus minus under root of 256 minus 144, that results in 112 divided by 6. Now I have to solve, put this value in calculator. So if I do that, so one of the value is coming out to be 0.902 and another value is what? Minus 4.430. Okay, so we have two value. Now tell me which will be the value, which value of S is a valid root locus point? Is it minus 4.430 or minus 0.902? Which one? You can see this point minus 4.430, it will lie somewhere here. Okay, this is what? This is S equal to minus 4.430. Is this a valid root locus point? No, I told you this is not a valid root locus point. Why? Because to the right hand side of this point, what we can see? There are odd number of open loop poles. Okay, open loop poles are 0. And what about minus 9.02? So here it lies. So this is S equal to minus 9.902. So what are the number of poles and 0 to the right of this point? We can see it is what? It is even odd number of poles are there. Okay, odd number of open loop poles are here. Okay, only one is there. So this is your valid root locus point. Now the answer is what? Minus 0.902. So is this correct? Is this correct? Tell me yes or no. No, this is not correct. They haven't asked you where the breakaway point is. They asked you what? Value of k. Value of k. You need to find the value of k, not the point where breakaway point is existing. So always read the question carefully. Always read the question carefully so that you don't make mistakes. Okay. After solving this much, if you put your answer minus 0.902 and you think your answer is correct, then it is very bad actually. Means you have lost. This is question number 36, you can see. So this is a 2-mark question. So you will be losing 2 marks. Okay. Simple 2 marks you will be just losing. So that is not good actually. So what is the next step? You just need to put this minus 0.902 in this equation and you will get your answer. Okay. So if I do that, what is the answer I will get? Okay, one thing, always take care of this negative. Okay, take care of the negative. So that comes out to be 5.049. Okay. So your answer is this. So the value of k at breakaway point is what? 5.049. Okay. So very simple question, but you need to take care. Okay. So what is this question? The system shown in figure A has a time response yt to an input RT is equal to 10 UT. Okay, so RT is what? It is 10 UT, fine. As shown in figure B. Okay, as shown in figure B. UT being the step input, we all know that both k and tau are positive. The gain k of the system is. The gain k of the system, they want you to find the gain k of this system. Okay, very good actually. So if I want to calculate the gain k of this system, how can we do it? So if we calculate Ys by Rs, so what will it be? It will be G divided by 1 plus G. Why? This is unity feedback system, so that is why. So K divided by S tau plus 1 divided by 1 plus K S tau plus 1. So if I solve this, this will be what? K divided by S tau plus 2. Sorry, S tau plus 1, it will be S tau plus 1 plus K. Okay. So this is what? This is your Ys by Rs. Okay, fine. Now you can see the input. What is Rs? Rs will be 10 by S. Okay. So Ys will be what? It will be equal to K divided by S tau plus 1 plus K into Rs, and Rs is what? It is 10 by S. Fine. Now they have given you the response diagram. Okay. So they have given you the time response. Okay. Response curve they have given you. Now how can you find K with the help of this response? First tell me, the response, does it look of a stable system or unstable system? Is this response of a stable system or unstable system? You can see the output is bounded. Okay, for a bounded input, we got a bounded output. So that means what? This is stable system. Okay, stable system. So tell me one thing, for a stable system, can we apply final value theorem? Can we apply this? Obviously, yes, we can apply final value theorem. So now we just need to put final value theorem. So what is y of infinity? It will be equal to limit s tends to 0 s ys, and you can see from the graph that y infinity is what? It is 8. So 8 equal to limit s tends to 0 s into k divided by s tau plus 1 by k into 10 by s. So this s gets cancelled, and then let me rub this area so I can solve this. So if I put the value of limit, it will be what? 8 equal to k divided by 1 plus k into 10. So if I solve this by cross multiplication, what it will be? It will be 8 plus 8k is equal to 10k. So 2k is equal to 8, which implies k equal to 4. So the answer to this question is 4. Okay, very simple question you have saw. So in the next question, what we see? The loop transfer function of a negative feedback is Gs Hs is equal to 2 s plus 1 by s square, the phase margin of the system. Okay. So they have given you the transfer function, which is 2 s plus 1 divided by s square. Okay. And they have asked you the phase margin of this system. So what should be the phase margin? What will be the phase margin of this system, they are asking you. Okay, so if I tell you about phase margin, what we know, phase margin is 180 degree plus phase of the transfer function at which frequency? At gain crossover frequency. Okay, so this is the formula. So first thing what we need to find out here is omega gc, and that is gain crossover frequency. Okay, so we need to find gain crossover frequency. So if I want to calculate gain crossover frequency, what we know, the magnitude of transfer function at gain crossover frequency is what? It is 1. So if I do that, so first let me write the gain of this transfer function. So that is what? 2 okay, I shouldn't be writing directly the formula. To j omega plus 1 j omega into j omega. Okay, s square I have written as j omega into j omega. Okay, fine. So now if I want to write the magnitude, what will it be? It will be 2 under root of 1 omega g square. Okay, what is happening means I should be writing, not skipping steps. Okay, so this is how I can write. Now if I replace omega by omega gc, then what will happen? This should be equal to 1. Okay, this should be equal to 1. So I am erasing this place. Okay, so now let us solve this equation. So if I solve it, squaring both sides, so what will happen? 4 1 plus omega g c whole square is equal to omega gc to the power 4. Now let me replace or substitute omega gc square by x. If I do that, so this will be x square minus 4x minus 4 equal to 0. So now let me solve this quadratic equation. So x is equal to 4 plus minus 4 square plus 4 AC. Okay, so A is 1, C is minus 4. So it will be 4 square by 2. So this will be 4 plus minus 4 root 2 by 2. I can write like this. So there will be two values, that will be 2 plus minus 2 root 2. Okay. Now tell me one thing. Which of the value is not possible here? Which of the value of x will not, means first let me ask you, which of the value is negative? So this value is negative. Okay, this value will be negative because this is 2 and this is 2 into 1.414. So this will be a negative value. Okay, so if my value of x, what is x? X is omega gc square. Okay, so if omega gc square equal to negative value, that means what? Omega gc will be a complex value, and we know complex value or negative value of frequency is not possible. Okay, so we should always remember complex or negative frequency is not possible in our control domain. Okay, so if that is not possible, so we will omit this one and keep this term. Okay, so omega gc square is equal to 2 plus 2 root 2, which implies omega gc equal to 2 plus 2 root 2 whole root. Okay, radian per second. So let me calculate what is that value coming. That nearly comes out to be 2.19 radian per second. Okay, okay, so 2.19 radian per second. Now let us put the value of this 2.19 radian per second in this equation. Okay, let us put. So first let me calculate the phase, that is what? Let me calculate this. So tell me what is the phase of a real number? This 2 is a real number, so it is obviously 0. For this one, it will be tan inverse of omega minus, and for the denominator we can see where I have written j omega. Okay, I have rubbed that. So this will be what? This will be equal to j omega into j omega. So for a single j omega we knew what? It is 90 degree. For 2 j omegas it will be j omega square, it will be 180 degree, and as it is in denominator, when it comes to the top it will be minus 180 degree. Okay. So now in this equation, simply if we substitute this value, so what will it be? 180 plus tan inverse of omega gc minus 180 degree. Okay. So if I solve this, 180 gets cancelled. So tan inverse of 2.19. Make sure your calculator is in degree. So it will come out to be nearly, let me check. So it comes out to be 65.4 degree. Okay. So this was the answer for phase margin of this question. So okay. So with this, actually I hope you people understood the solution of instrumentation. So if there is any doubt, then you can post it in the comment section and I will get back to you. Okay, then thank you for this session.